Good day, boaters. Keith McGowan here. I am the Outboard Dad, here to help you have a better boating experience. Today, we're going to get into this fuel tank issue on Mike's boat. Remember, his squeeze ball was getting sucked flat. Don't forget, today's video is brought to you by the ANCEL MR500. This is great for Yamaha diagnostics on your outboard. As we get into newer outboards, we gotta have the different diagnostic tools. There's no way we're going to tell what's going on inside that motor like we do on the old ones without these tools. Now, there's a lot of things you can find out and you can probably decipher and test, but this tool saves time and money over going to your marina. If you're interested in getting one or learning more, you can go to the link in my description here and receive my discount. And upcoming are going to be some videos of this tool in action. So we got some stuff together. We got some fuel line. Right? We got a fuel water separator kit from Pro Marine. One of my favorite places. Look at how they set this up. So you buy your kit, comes with a filter on it, right? You can label it if you want so you know when we changed it last. It's a nice setup, good aluminum. See how it has two ins and outs? Well, what you don't get in a lot of places is this. A kit with two plugs and two fittings. Comes with it, so we can hook this up. So we're going to take the old one out first, dump the fuel out of it, see what it looks like. We're going to dump it in a jar, see if it's got dirt in it or something like that. We're going to inspect it, but we're just not wasting time to try and clean it out or anything like that. It's original to the boat, so we're just going to get this new one in there. The other thing we have is a new pickup tube. Now our tank's only about 12 inches, but I didn't want to get the 12-inch one because I didn't want it to be short. So I want to get the old one out, line this one up to it, and take a good measurement. And then we're going to cut the end of this, but we're also going to put a loop in it so fuel can get in there. The old one, the original one, had a screen on it. So we're going to do that. We're going to put some nice Teflon tape on the threads. But first we got to get the old one out. And we also have a squeeze ball from Pro Marine, as well as these hose clamps from Pro Marine. Now these are the kind of clamps I like to stick with for two reasons. It's a full band, right? It doesn't have holes in it, it has ridges in it. They kind of like a European style, I think they call it, but this one I found lasts a lot longer. They still use a steel bolt, right? The screw is steel. So lube this up, man. You tighten these up. You want to put some white lithium on this so they don't go bad. So let's get all of our stuff together. Let's get the old fuel stuff out, and then we'll put the new fuel stuff in. Okay, we'll start here. I'm going to go ahead and take these clamps off first. I'm going to put some old rags in here to catch any gas that's going to drip out of it. But you can see the way this is bent up, the way it is here. It is a Quicksilver, so it's not too bad of a squeeze ball. But I think it's just been abused and it's time to move on from it. Plus, we don't want to have any chance of anything clogging this fuel line now. So we'll go ahead and disconnect this first. We'll pull the fuel line out from the motor, and we'll pull the fuel line out from the boat, and we'll run a new fuel lines here and connect it all up. And then we'll get in the boat and do the tank. So for this Evinrude 175, I took the side cover off. There's 3 screws that hold it in. Someone had some lubricant on that, which is nice to see. So we're going to go ahead and take this clamp off of here. And we'll also check this filter. I'm sure it's okay, but we'll check it just to be sure. So we'll start with this clamp. I'm going to take a rag and put it in here just to keep it from going too crazy. This is the original fuel hose. Notice I switched to my nitrile gloves. Keep the gas from absorbing into my skin. Let's take a look at this. So there's a little debris in the bottom of this, so we'll clean that out. Nothing that would cause the squeeze ball to get sucked closed. And then we'll kind of go in here a little bit. No, nice and clean. I'll put this back together. And we'll just double check this when we get everything back together and get it pressurized with the fuel bulb and just make sure nothing is dripping. I'm just going to give it a little with the pliers, not a whole lot. I just want to smush that O-ring a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and take this clamp off because I want to save it and reuse it. So this comes through here. Now let's see how we're going to pull it through. I think we're going to take it off here first. Move our rag over. We're definitely going to have some fuel in this. I'm going to go get a jar to catch some of this. What I'll try and do is get it down here first at a low point. Then we'll take squeeze ball off. The squeeze ball itself drained. Now I want to get it out of this tube into my jar. And I'll hold this, and don't try this at home. Just get the rest of the fuel out of that line. What I'm going to do is pull this back a little bit. And then I think what I'm going to do is cut this. I think it'll pull through the other way easier once I cut it. Everything out of this rubber boot would just be easier, you know. Now let's see if we can. Okay, so we found out why it was hanging up, because it had a coupling in there with a couple of clamps on it. Now what I'm going to do is, before I start fishing the new one in, I'm going to tape up the end of it because I don't want dirt and everything to get in this nice clean new fuel line. Got the tape on there and we started fishing it in until we see it start to come up. There she blows. Now we'll fish it through here the same way that the other one came out. This way it all fits together well in this rubber boot. You can spray a little lube in there if you want to, a little white lithium or silicone. You want to avoid anything that's going to eat away at the rubber. It may help it fish in there a little easier sometimes. About what we need, so I'm going to take the tape off. I'm going to clean this off a little bit first. It has some dirt on it. I want to make sure we keep everything as clean as we can here. Now we could reuse the old clamp, but it's original to the motor. I don't know how strong it is, and I want to make sure I have a good seal. So I'm going to go ahead and get a brand new clamp for this. Put the clamp on. Actually, I'm going to do it this way. Let's get this connected. You also want to use the right size. This happens to be 3/8. You want to make sure you use the proper size. Not too big, not too small. We want proper fuel flow. And we also want to have a nice snug fit. So the other thing that we have to look at is there's a cover that has to go on here. So I want to make sure if this may have to go around to the other side. So we'll get the cover and do a test. Through this. Now I can see the clamp there, and you know what? I think it is hitting it. Yeah, we're going to have to switch that clamp around the other side. Nice and tight. Make sure our cover goes on. Actually, we can probably just put this on permanently now. So there's a hose at the bottom that gets connected, and then a hose on top here that goes through into this breather. Couple of straps. Let's make sure this goes on all the way. All right, bring this back now the way we had it. It's back on. This kind of gets pinched in the cover there so it holds it. Okay, this part is done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the rest of my fuel line here. I'm going to tape off the other end and start snaking it through that way for where it needs to go next. Put 2 pieces on just in case, you know. We want to eliminate problems as much as we can. Okay, so let's fish this through to where that filter is now. First, I think we need to take it off of here and pull the line through from inside the boat. So it's pretty obvious how it gets snaked through here, so we'll get inside the boat next. And this is a good clamp, so we're going to reuse it. Okay, so as you can see, down in the hull here is where our fuel separator is. It's original to the boat, so we're going to rip that out of there, a couple screws in it, and then run a new fuel line over here to our tank. And also replace this pickup tube. All right, so we're going to do that fuel tank. We also have over here a gasket and screws replacement for that fuel sender. Didn't videotape it, but we pulled that out to look inside. The gasket was not really rubbery anymore. We don't have any leaks in here. You get gas in the hull of the boat. It's a bad idea. So please like, subscribe, send me any comments that you have, and we'll continue on to take care of Mike's boat and hope that we've done everything that we need to do to get him out on the water and run this motor good. But he's going to bring a spare tank with him this time. He's going to buy a little deck tank, you know, maybe a 6-gallon. This way, if he goes out and burns up a bunch of fuel and then that squeeze ball sucks flat again, he can run a separate tank. I don't think he's going to have that problem, but you always want to be sure. You always want to take that precaution. And it doesn't hurt to have a deck tank as a backup. Or if you're going out further or all day and you run out of gas, you have a deck tank there that you can get home on. So please like, subscribe, send me any comments that you have, and we look forward to seeing you out on the water. Have a great day.